Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Quick favor, click the like and subscribe button to join this amazing channel. Now, we're gonna review here Weapon Xmen by Christos, Gage, and Yildiray Çinar. A multiverse of Logans band together, an original X-Men. You saw the Phoenix recruit the X-Men, the young X-Men, to fix yet another displaced disaster. But now, the threat is deadlier than ever, and it's time to call in the X-Men big guns. He's the best there is at what he does. In every universe, he does it. And this job is too big for just one of him. Wolverines from across the multiverse converge to take on a foe even the Phoenix fear. Wow, what a great introduction here. Now, obviously, the story begins when, there's an Earth in the multiverse that basically Magneto was evil and he merged with Jean's Grey evil side, evil telepathy mind. And he became what it's known today as the monster called Onslaught. And in that universe, Jean Grey, she basically recruited the young X-Men to fight him, but they fell. Obviously Magneto, which is his Onslaught, he was so strong that he beat those young X-Men. Now they got sent back to their world, and basically because he was so powerful, that universe, the entire universe, got destroyed by the negative black energy of Onslaught. And now Jean Grey is trying to recruit Wolverine. Like I said, these are Wolverines that are from different universes. We got the zombie one, we got the fat one from Earth X, we got the Old Man Logan from Earth 807128, and then Jane Hotlet. And then, of course, the main one here, we got Wolverine from the Age of Apocalypse. Now, for those of you who don't know who that is, basically this Wolverine was in a different universe that Charles Xavier wasn't alive, and basically the X-Men was never created. Magneto was basically in charge of the mutants, and when the Age of Apocalypse came, they took his lover Jean, as they captured her, and he went on to save her, but he lost his hands, and he's basically a legend from that universe. And in this universe, Jean the Phoenix is recruiting all of them. So she's gonna send them to a different universe where they think that they can catch Onslaught. And in that universe, basically, it's where humans and mutants united to fight off an alien invasion. Now they live together in peace. The leaders of that mutant kind of that universe was Jean Grey and Magneto. So she sends them out there. They're on Earth 93068. As they arrive there, basically, they see a statue here, the statue of Charles Xavier and Nick Fury. And it says here, in gratitude to all those humans and mutants who gave their lives to repel the Badoon invasion. So they give up their life for peace. And then here comes the uncanny Avengers of that planet. They don't know who those Wolverine are. They show up, and a battle just rage on. They start fighting what looks like Central Park, basically. And the Wolverine from Age of Apocalypse just asks Jean Grey, hey, you could read minds, right? Why don't you just read my mind and see the situation here for what it is? She reads him, and she's saying, I'm sorry, I didn't know. And they all stop fighting from there. Now, they invite them to the Uncanny Avengers Tower, and it just happened that today is Liberation Day, in which they are celebrating the anniversary of defeating the Badoons. So there's parties everywhere. Jean from the different universe, she was going to a pub where all the Wolverine are attending a party upstairs. It's a holiday. They go upstairs, all the xmen's all there, the Avengers all there. They're eating. It's there's a funny part here where Zombie Wolverine's like, I'm hungry, I can't eat those food. And Old Man Logan gets down and just cuts a flesh off his leg. I thought that was pretty cool. It was amazing. And then we're inside here where Jean and Wolverine are there looking at this painting of Wolverine from that universe in Cyclops, and it looks like Cyclops and Wolverine gave up their life to get intel to defeat the Badoons. So it was a crucial day. That's what Jean is saying there. And they end up kissing, which is pretty interesting because those 2 days, Wolverine, he has a huge crush on Jean in his universe. So and then we go to Taut's whole bar here. We transition where Jean, she's in a bar, she's enjoying herself, having drinks, and then boom, she gets attacked by the people at the bar, and she's like, "Oh, you must be Onslaught." And there's so many of you, and Onslaught saying that he kinetically, mentally control all of these people. And she gets out of the bar, she crashes at the party through the air, and basically some of the X-Men, they are also controlled by Onslaught, kinetically, mentally, and a battle ensued between the Wolverines and the controlled uncanny X-Men, and Avengers. They're all fighting. There's a lot of death. Old Man Logan kills an X-Men, and just he loses it because in his old world, as you know, he killed the original X-Men because he thought they were the enemies, and this is bringing flashback to him, and he stops fighting and gets cracked in the head by X-Men, and they're still fighting. And the funny part is that Zombie Wolverine, he shows up out of nowhere with a cavalry of zombie that he must have just bit. And now the odds are even, they're fighting. But then, there are still humans that are not controlled by Onslaught. So he's the Wolverine, he's telling Phoenix to use her power to transport them to different universe, but she said it might take forever. So the Wolverines are like, you know what, we're gonna hold them. So they're holding, and when it's over, that universe collapses, explodes, and then they get back to wherever they were. And at the end, the Phoenix saying, I tracked down Onslaught, he's in my home world. And that's it. The Wolverines are like, we're exhausted, we're not sure if we could go on. Old Man Logan he's beat, he's sad, I don't know if he can even fight. The fat Logan, he can't even heal properly because he's so fat and old. So that was funny. And that was the issue, guys. It's a great issue. It's a multiverse battle issue, and I hope that we could see more actions like this. This was truly enjoyable. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I really enjoyed reading this and reading about different universe. So if you're into that, this is definitely one comic for you. And it's Wolverine. Come on, who doesn't like all those Wolverine? Age of Apocalypse Wolverine. Come on. So there you have it, folks. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you until next time. Peace out. What is up, guys? This is Comic Hour. We're reviewing Weapon X-Men number 2. Now, do me a quick favor and subscribe, and here we go. Now, if you haven't seen my review for issue number 1, Weapon X-Men issue number 1, click the above buttons here, and you will land right there. Now, Weapon X-Men issue number 2 is by Gage, Çinar, and Woodard. We start the issue here with the Wolverine from Earth 9997. He was, Wolverine. He was a handsome Wolverine. And in this world, Cyclops wasn't there for Jean. And basically, Wolverine ended up with Jean, and they got married. Now, to say that this universe is different is exaggerating, because it is different. It's, Wolverine here is married to Jean, and she's on the couch eating, saying that she got depressed and lonely, and that she got fat, and he wanted to relate to her. So what did he do? He went to a genetic specialist named Miles Warren, and he basically got his healing factor suppressed so that he couldn't become fat and relate to his wife, but that will mean that he will no longer be Wolverine. And next thing you know, he's basically fat on the couch eating with her, and they're growing old, but they are also growing apart. Now they're arguing here, as you can tell, and eventually she left. She thought that she called him a coward. She didn't see the X-Men anymore, and he didn't either. And basically they separated. It broke his heart, and that is the reason why he became this fat, big old Wolverine. And here is telling the story to the woman Wolverine, and basically he's saying that I don't think I can do this anymore. I don't want to fight, and instead of fighting a vicious battle, I watch a whole world dies because we couldn't save it. So he doesn't know if he can do this. And then we move on to Jean here, saying that that's enough. I found Onslaught. Let's go to that her world, and let's go see what's going on. And basically they travel to her world, which is Earth 807777. And in that world, Captain America here, which is Daniel Cage, is telling the Wolverines that Onslaught is not here. We can't find him. She's telling Jean that perhaps we can go and assemble the team. And she said no point until I find Onslaught. And basically there's a celebration going on at the Summers Prior Estate, upstate New York. Somebody's getting married, and Jean, she is welcomed by Cyclops. And this is a little bit awkward because Cyclops in that world, he's married to Madeline, and they grew old together. And obviously Jean she has a thing for Summer, and she basically is a bit jealous. As you can tell here, they're embracing each other. And, she turns around, and the Wolverine from that universe is there. And he's basically married with Mariko, Japanese woman. And they have kids, This is what could become a Wolverine. And all the other Wolverine are looking, and they're like, whoa, that's how we look like if we married Mariko, right? Now, Mariko has children there, and basically the children, they're surrounding the zombie Wolverine, and basically, Jean there is telling them to stay away from him, from that Wolverine, because he's not really, he's gonna bite them basically. And next thing you know, the special occasion of the gathering here is, there's a wedding, and it's Nat, the son of Cyclops, and I believe in this word Madeline, so he's getting married, and he's gonna have a wedding, and he's embracing everybody, they're saying hi to each other. The zombie Wolverine here is basically locked up by the robotic, mutant. I forgot his name. I'm sorry. And basically, they're all gathering, and there's the Doctor Strange of that universe who leaves with Jean to find where Onslaught is, And, there's a touching scene here with the older Wolverine where he's like, "You okay, Bob?" And he said, "No." And he's clearly I ain't, and he walks away. Now, the Sorcerer Supreme and Jean are there. They're doing all they can to find where he is. And they finally found Onslaught, and Jean is transferring all the Wolverine to that universe to get him, and it's Savage Land, the dinosaur universe. And they go out there, and they're fighting a bunch of dinosaurs, and Jean is transporting them to a cave where she said that Onslaught is in. He's right there, and basically he's holding alien machinery inside the cave. So, the Sorcerer Supreme, she can't wait. She just blasts him, and Jean's like, "No, bear with me." And all the Wolverine, they're just going in there and just slashing him, but the body of Onslaught is not moving. So it's a fake, it's his consciousness is not in there. And basically it's Sorcerer Supreme, she's blast him, and the energy goes back to her. It blasts her all the way back, and it looks like she's dying, right? So Jean is like, what? Forget this. He's not here. Let's transfer back to the wedding where he is going to be at, because I can sense it. And back in the summer household here, basically Nat is he's going to get married, and Jean is like, Madeline is embracing Nate, and Phoenix here. Jean comes on and she's like, "Get your hands off him, Onslaught." And basically she split them apart. And as she split them apart, Madeline is like, "This is insane. Oh no." And next thing you know, Jean, you got Nat here blasting Jean, and this is Onslaught. He's basically taking over the body of Nat. And he's like, "On my world, I only pretended to be the Phoenix. Now, by threatening your home, making you careless, I've tricked you into delivering the greatest power in the universe in my hand, which is the Phoenix power." And all the Wolverine they go into fight mode, and they get blasted by like Cyclops, which is, he's possessed by Onslaught. And they're all fighting. Even the robot is trying to protect Cyclops. And Zombie Wolverine's trying to go in there and do damage, but then the older Wolverine just slash him, and he's like, "You guys need to stop and leave. You guys all need to leave. We're going to handle this. Otherwise, if you guys stay, you guys are going to destroy my world." And the fat Wolverine there, he slashes Onslaught arm, which is Nat, but, it is really Onslaught because he's taking over the body. And he slashed it, and he's getting slashed in the back. This comic is so violent, just so you know. It's probably one of the most violent comic I've ever read. And, they're all pissed off. Onslaught is gone now, and they're all pissed off at all the Wolverines and Jean. And they're telling them, "You guys gotta go, man. You guys are nothing but trouble. We'll figure it out. You guys leave." And Jean is like, "Of course, I understand. Goodbye, Wolverines with me." And she teleported them to, the location that they're usually at. And she's like, "I broke my own rule about going after Onslaught, and we all saw why it's a bad idea. That's exactly why I need all of you, because you guys always make the right decisions. All you Wolverine you make the difficult decisions, and that's why you are all here. Now we gotta, I'm gonna find where he is. We're several steps behind, but I'm gonna find him." That's what Jean the Phoenix is saying. And we end with another universe here where Onslaught gets in. And he's basically, he wants, in that universe, he says that it is here on this earth that I should make mutants immortals. He wants, it's the mission of Magneto, He's got the, consciousness of Magneto and Jean Grey. And he wants, to make mutant rule, make them powerful. And that is the end of this comic, guys. Make sure you click the like, subscribe if you enjoyed. Again, I'm going to review all the Weapon X-Men, so make sure you subscribe. And yeah, guys, I'll catch you guys later. Peace out. What is up, guys? Welcome to Comic Hour. Do me a quick favor, subscribe, and here we go. If you haven't seen or read Weapon X-Men issue 2, there's a link here. Click there. It will take you right there and come back to watch this video. Now, Weapon X-Men issue 3 by Gage, Çinar, and Yildiray. Now, we start in Between Worlds, where the female Wolverine, Jane Haller, tells the guys her origin story. She says she was born into a wealthy family in 1885. They had a drunken groundskeeper, Thomas Logan, who, may I just say, looks like Wolverine. His son was named Doug. Her and Doug was friends, romantically seeing each other. She goes on about her upbringing, how she got educated, and how she learned self-defense. Her family pressured her to marry. They wanted her to marry old people. She told Doug that she didn't want to marry at all. They didn't want to marry anybody. But as she said, that was a mistake. Because that night, Doug and his dad Thomas broke into her home and tried to abduct her. Doug's dad wanted her to marry Doug so that he could inherit her money. She made it clear she did not want to marry Doug. Her father rushed into Thomas Logan, and her dad fought Thomas Logan instantly. Thomas shot her father and mother dead. Thomas grabbed her, and there, her Wolverine instinct took over for the first time. The famous claws that we know as Wolverine came out, and she killed Thomas. Just like that, she was an orphan, and she inherited her family fortune. She became rich. The Wolverine boys gave her a hard time because of that. Jane gets mad and takes out her claws. Easy, says Apocalypse Wolverine. Suddenly, Jean, the Phoenix, shows up and said that she located Onslaught. She's sending the Wolverine to Onslaught right away. Now, we switch to where they found Onslaught. However, Onslaught seems to not quite be himself right now. Wolverine signaled to tear him up, and they all attack him at once. All of the Wolverines. However, Onslaught is not easy to take down. Spread out, attack from both sides, says the Wolverines. And suddenly, Onslaught called for a truce. Like, what the hell? A truce, really? In the middle of a fight? I need your help, says Onslaught. He said he came several days ago wanting to make mutants immortal. He retrieved a magical artifact called the Lifeline Tablet. Something went wrong. Instead of just mutant, everyone became immortal, including humans who had diseases, and now because they're immortal, they live with that disease forever. So in agony and pain, people cry every day so that their life could end. Therefore, upon hearing these sorrows, Onslaught felt really bad, and he wants to end it because he doesn't want to hear these sorrows anymore. Eternity of pain, as he calls it. He said that someone interfered with the spell and stole the Lifeline Tablet. As you know, the spell that he was trying to do was just to make mutants immortal. But everyone is immortal in that universe now. The Wolverines are making a deal, asking Onslaught that if they help him, he again never interfere with any dimension or harm them as it is. He agrees, give them a fragment of the tablet, the Lifeline Tablet, to track it. The Wolverines are in Boston now, where they can smell the scent of the tablet. They arrive at Bloodstone Manor. They also say that they smell a familiar being with long blonde hair, safari jacket. Jane says that she crossed paths with that being, and that he has a red gem embedded in his chest. They fought a beast together, and Jane nursed him back to health. And they fell in love, of course. So cliche, right, guys? Now, Jane said that it is Ulysses, that's his name, and that she can come to an agreement with him. Fat Wolverine says, yeah, a round of strip poker. That's funny right there. I'm sorry, but this is hilarious. They arrive inside the complex now, and they are surprised to see Dracula and Selene. And we figure why they took the tablet and made every human immortal, because they wanted an endless world of prey that cannot die, so that vampires like them can drink blood endlessly. All of a sudden, the Wolverines attack. Jane says, this is not Ulysses, this is the demon that live in his gem on his chest. He throws her into a Wolverine skeleton, where Jane uses the claw of that skeleton to pierce right through him. The master inside of Ulysses goes back to the gem, but sadly, Ulysses dies and takes his last breath, as Jane shed a tear in her eyes. Jane runs towards the tablet and destroys it, putting an end to the spell. Selena loses her youth right away, and Dracula disappears. At last, Onslaught shows up, where it's safe and sound now. Well done, he says. My full power has returned. He tells the Wolverine that his word is good, and he will not go back to his word. That they could trust him. All of a sudden, Old Man Logan receives a psychic message from Onslaught, who says, I didn't come here to listen to them. I came here to talk to you. Help me remove your friends and the Phoenix, and I will take you back in your timeline to before you were tricked into killing the X-Men, so that it never happened. The worst thing you ever did doesn't have to happen. Think about it, says Onslaught, as he leaves. Now, Fat Logan tells him, we saved the world. Feels like we are finally turning into an elite team. Badasses we were meant to be. Yeah, says Old Man Logan, who looks like he may take the deal with this anonymous look. And that is the comic, guys. Now, the next issue will be the last of this run, so make sure you stay tuned. Is Old Man Logan Wolverine going to take the deal? He probably is, I think, but we should wait and see. This issue here felt like a filler issue, not too much going on. The final one, though, should be great because it's the last issue. Now, I hope you enjoyed it. Click the like, sub. I'll catch you guys all later. And Free Comic Book Day is this weekend. Don't forget. I know you guys are excited about Free Comic Book Weekend. So have a good, peaceful one. And yeah, peace out. I'll catch you guys later. What is up, guys? Welcome to Comic Hour. This is Weapon X-Men, issue number 4, the final issue, by Gage, Çinar, and Woodar. Now, quick favor, subscribe and like. Okay, now, if you haven't caught on the last issue, click the link above and come back to this video. Now, as you may remember, Old Man Logan was offered a deal by Onslaught in the last issue, where Onslaught asked Old Man Logan to betray his team and deliver them to Onslaught himself. In exchange, Onslaught will bring him back to the timeline where he slaughtered his teammate, the X-Men. He would bring him back before he killed them. Now, we start the issue with what Old Man Logan described as his past. 50 years ago, villains bind together against the X-Men and attacked the X-Mansion. I fought them all and killed them all, says Old Man Logan. The people I loved, as you can see here, Bullseye's turns into Jubilee. You're supposed to be our friend, she says. As he looks up, he sees that this mysterious power that tricked him into killing his own teammates, the X-Men's. Now, we turn into present time, where we see that Old Man Logan did capture all of the Wolverines. Zombie Wolverine is saying that he lured them all here to betray them. Old Man puts robotic cuffing for each of the Wolverines. Where did you get all these tech? Zombie says. I provided it, says Onslaught, who shows up out of nowhere. Zombie Wolverine can't believe that Old Man Logan fell for such a deal, as Onslaught confessed to him the deal he made with Old Man. Onslaught is saying that with the Phoenix power, he can send Old Man back to his timeline to before he killed all of the X-Men. He asks Old Man to summon Phoenix now, as Old Man does just that, asking her that they need extraction. Jean shows up and she's ready for battle. But alas, Old Man Logan pierces her with his claws from behind. Logan, why, she says, as Onslaught rushes towards her as he gets ready to absorb her Phoenix power. Now, Zombie Wolverine walks next to Jane. Wolverine saying that he's hungry. Taste my shackle, she says, as he releases her from her captivity. Zombie starts doing the same to all the other Wolverine. Wow, now Zombie is turning out to be quite the hero. Who would have thought, right? He released all the Wolverines, saved them all, as they all get ready for battle against Old Man Logan. You think I'm afraid to die, he says. I've been trying for 50 years. Old Man attacks them and beats them one by one until he meets Apocalypse Wolverine. And here we go. They go for it. They're battling each other. In my opinion, two of the best Wolverines in any timeline. Now Onslaught comes and separates these two, as Jean explains that now she understands. The Phoenix bonded with her harmoniously in her world, saying that Onslaught is her and Magneto's fear of death and everything else. The Phoenix is life incarnated. As Onslaught hears her, he also understands now that he bonded with Phoenix power. Can you ever forgive me, he says, as he lets go of the fear and lets the Phoenix power take over. Now Jean asks Old Man if he knew all along about this. I had a hunch, he says. You said you brought me here to make the tough calls. He made one, he says. Genius, don't you guys think? As Old Man Logan said, he had to act the part. He had to block off any thoughts that Onslaught will see. You fill your thoughts with memories of killing your friends, says Onslaught. Onslaught says that he can send Wolverine to his timeline, but Old Man Logan knows it won't change history. What's done is done. It will just create a new timeline. Don't worry about it, says Old Man. So, guys, Old Man's a genius. Everybody thought that he was the bad guy in this story because he turned against the Wolverines. It turned out that he acted the part and he just blocked off any thoughts of betraying Onslaught so that Onslaught can detect that, because as you know, Onslaught has the Phoenix power. So he can, read minds and all that stuff too, That was genius, Onslaught cannot give the power back to Jean, the power of the Phoenix, but he gave her a bit so she can travel through universe as he leaves to explore other universes. Take the Wolverines where they want, he says. Wait, did we just win? Says Fat Wolverine. We won, says Jean, as she starts sending the Wolverine back, one by one. First Jane, then Apocalypse Wolverine. Then she tells Zombie Wolverine where he wished to return. Does he wish to go home? Well, he says, no one in my home is alive. Is there another Earth where I can't hurt anyone? Zombie Wolverine says. She sends him to Earth 91, where everyone is a vegetable, and he's the only carnivore there. He needs meat. And he says, I want to go home now. That's funny, man. Zombie Wolverine. Maybe they should make a single, one-shot comic of him. He's funny as heck. Now, we find ourselves on Earth 9997, where Fat Wolverine is reunited with Jean. As you may remember, Jean left him from before, as she is saying that she is willing to give him another try. And there they are, watching television together again. What a happy ending for him. Now, Jean asks Old Man Logan where he wants to go. A world with a happy ending, he says. And there they are. They both walk together to that world, wherever it may be, because they sure as heck do not tell us where they went. And that is the ending of the 4-part issue of Weapon X-Men. What an ending. Well, I thought they were gonna kill Onslaught, but this was kind of like PG-13, It wasn't really rated R where there's a blood and they're gonna kill Onslaught, a big, huge battle, and where one of the Wolverine might died. I was a little bit disappointed, but oh well, I'll take this ending, I guess. But anyway, tell me in the comments below which one of those Wolverine you would like to see with their own solo comic issue. Let me know in the comment, and make sure you click the like and sub. Now, I hope you like this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.